Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi! Happy Thanksgiving to one and all. It's the season of giving, of saying thanks to your friends and your families alike. So I figured, just like Halloween, let's make a holiday special video here. So let's get started. The Thanksgiving Truce. Chloe loved pumpkin spice, and anyone who called her basic could go fuck themselves. The smells brought her joy. She didn't know why. This time, though, the aroma wasn't coming from her coffee. It wafted into the living room from Vanessa Caulfield's oven. It was the third batch of pies today. These can't all be for the four of us, right? Contrary to her 13-year-old self's entire belief system, there was a such thing as too much dessert. Now I just have to convince Mass of that. That girl can put away food like nobody's business. It was kind of cute, actually. While Chloe's mom had always been the better stovetop cook of the two by a mile, Vanessa's baking knocked Joyce's out of the park. That still didn't stop Chloe from missing her mom's lopsided birthday cakes, for better or worse. It was still a part of her memories of home. Somehow, her thoughts always looped back around to home. Yeah, all three remaining pinks of it. CMS had half-heartedly searched the level before leaving Acadia Bay for Seattle, but had only found a few odds and ends worth keeping. The one person they'd been able to save sat in a cracked frame. Water had damaged about a third of it. Mass had put her photo retardation knowledge to good use and prevented it from getting any worse. But part of her dad's face was permanently smudged away where it had snuck to a piece of the broken glass. With a sigh, Chloe leaned her head back on the couch and closed her eyes, tuning out the canned laughter coming from the television. Stop thinking about it, Chloe. Mobbing isn't going to fix any of that shit. She's gotten good at putting on an optimistic face for Mass. Throw yourself at any available project at the auto reveal shop helped too. But when left with idle hands and no one to cheer up, it was only a matter of time before the grief bubbled to the surface. You need a hobby. But Chloe wasn't made of money, and she wasn't comfortable. She still wasn't comfortable exploring the city by herself. Besides, parking was expensive. Enough bus routes may as well have been written in Latin. The loud growl that came from her stomach caught her off guard. Among other things, Chloe was terrible at remembering to eat on her days off. I heard that, Vanessa called from the kitchen in a sing-song way. If you're hungry, there's sandwich fixings in the fridge, and you're welcome to. There's not much else right now, though, I'm afraid. She got her phone, Almost time to leave so she could pick up Mass from work. Thanks, but as I enjoyed a good ham and cheese, your daughter might kill me if I pre-game Sunday lunch without her again. Vanessa chuckled. Not even I want to mess with that girl with these hungry. You and me both. On Whistle, Chloe's key wing jingled as he swooped up from the coffee table. She headed through the kitchen to the wood door, stretching her beanie over her head and dotting the fertile line leather jacket she thrifted last month. The oven closed and Vanessa turned around to face her. Oh, Chloe, before you go, Perry doesn't have your working Thanksgiving, right? Nope, Chloe declared happily. Shops closed Thursday and Friday. Perry was a cool boss. He even slipped her some cash under the table so she have something to spend on Black Friday. Seeing as she only been there a week and haven't gotten her first paycheck yet, good! I'll probably need some help preparing if you're up to it. I might even let you cut into one of the pies early, Vanessa said with a wink. Rivalry will get you everywhere, Chloe said with a lopsided smirk. She rubbed the back of her neck nervously. Don't expect me to have inherited my mom's cooking gene. The sentence that flashed across Vanessa's eyes at the mention of Joyce was quickly hidden behind a warm smile. Not a problem. I have plenty of other tasks for you. Anyway, you better get going. Be careful. The roads are a little icy. Don't worry. I get maximum overdrive home in one piece. Chloe stepped out into the late November trail and checked that the car had last set behind her. She liked Vanessa, but Max's mom had run back up to Chloe almost immediately when they showed up in front of the Caulfield Seattle home. Exhausted and self-sock, having driven non-stop from Acadia Bay. Max's dad, Ryan, who was pulling into the steep driveway as Chloe hurried down the cracked concrete steps, was something of a different sort. They gave each other a quick wave while he'd been recovering. It seemed to be more out of politeness than anything. Chloe got the impression he wasn't totally comfortable with her living in their house. Whatever, dude. He was still nice enough to let you stay without paying rent and put in a good word for you at the shop. Even added you to the phone plan until you could afford your own. Arriving at her battered truck, she jammed her wooden tree into the door, dribbling it until the lock monstrously turned with a tired clink. Gotta get this damn key replaced soon. The door groaned open, racing away with stale silhouette-centered air directly into her face. Okay, fine. I need an air freshener too. The Starbucks wasn't far, but Chloe still liked to pick Max up from herself when she could. Her truck rattled into the small parking lot. Max rushed outside with a tired grin, each midden hand chubby holding up a red coffee cup for Chloe to see. The grin immediately switched to bug-eye panic as her feet swept on the frosty snow walk. Somehow, though, she caught herself and saved the coffee. Chloe leaned over to open the passage door for her. And your mom thought I was the one who she had to warn about the ice. Shut up and drink your pumpkin spice crap, Max ordered playfully, handing her one of the cups. She brought it up to her nose and took a deep whiff. How did you know that is what I wanted all day? Oh, I know what the ladies like, said Max, trying and failing to sound cool. Going at the out carrier line, Chloe asked, Do you really now? The list had barely left her mouth when Fluffy Mipson cupped either side of Chloe's face and pulled her in for a kiss. She passively pressed her lips into Max's, almost dropping her coffee in excitement. Is this what they call the honeymoon phase? Chloe hoped not. Still, the giddiness that floated around her chest anytime they kissed was a permanent feature of the newfound romance. Max let go and pulled away, cheeks red, trying unsuccessfully to hold back the smile tugging at the corners of her mouth. Afraid of making a spectacle in front of your coworkers? Chloe teased. What? No! Max said, afraid she upset Chloe. I'm just really hungry. Relax. Chloe gave her another quick smile, smiling contentedly. What do you want to eat? My treat? Max thought for a moment, getting an idea. She ordered Buffino, especially declared, I know! We could get dicks! What? Chloe ashamed, chuckling uncontrollably, only then realizing how that sounded and turning a bright shade of red. Max stammered out a speedy explanation. It's a drive-in burger place, Chloe. The Seattle staple. She groaned and covered her face, embarrassed. Well, with a name like that, now we have to go. You so immature sometimes. Max grumbled, but Chloe could tell she was trying not to laugh too. Brimming proudly, Chloe reminded, You knew what you were getting into when you asked me to be your girlfriend. Oh wait now, getter. Find me some dicks. Ugh. Okay, all jokes aside, this is the set. Told you. Matt said smugly before taking the last bites of her burger. So, Chloe said, reclining in the driver's seat and grabbing a couple of fries from the bag. You said you wanted to talk to me about something. Matt seemed to shrink in on herself. Yeah, I had an idea for Thanksgiving. Apparently an idea you don't think I'm going to like? Chloe raised an eyebrow. Okay, shoot. Well, I thought, maybe... She's so cute when she's nervous, Chloe thought, but was getting uneasy herself. Her thought started to spiral. Fuck. She worried her family won't like me, isn't she? Or that they won't be cool with us being together. Is she gonna ask me not to go or to keep our relationship a secret? I can't hide that. I want to shout it from the wheel chops. Is she embarrassed of me? Come on, Max. What is it? Does David have other family? Max asked sadly. That wasn't what Chloe expected. She blinked, processing. I don't think so. You never really talked about me with it. Max's eyes met Chloe's. I think we should invite him for dinner if my parents are okay with it. You want to invite Seth Stews to Thanksgiving? It wasn't remotely as bad as what Chloe had feared, but still not great. Max flinched and looked away, biting her lip. Never mind. It was a stupid idea. It's just... He's alone. And I feel bad for him. Chloe shrugged and shook her head. It's not stupid, she said grimly. It's actually really sweet. Really? Yeah. Sorry if I overreacted. Chloe rubbed an arm around Max and pulled her close. Max nestled into the hollow of Chloe's shoulder, then looked up at her, eyes big and colorful. So, well, if it's not fair when you bust out the puppy dog eyes, Chloe said in a mock exclamation. Max smiled mysteriously. Let me think about it. Okay. Max sat up just far enough to give Chloe another brief kiss before laying her head in Chloe's lap. But you better decide soon. There's only a few days left. Chloe rolled her eyes. I know. Punk! Son of a bitch! Chloe stared at the full oil caster, the The ripples from where the drain plug had fallen into the dark liquid quickly dissipated. She grumbled and submerged her gloved hand, sussing binary with her fingertips along the bottom of the caster. Quickly footsteps approached, and Chloe saw Perry's boots built next to her knee. I think that's the first time I heard you cuss today. He disturbed and all. You're doing okay? Oh, wait. Giving up on finding the drain plug for the moment, Chloe wore herself out from under the wussy sedan. Yeah, just thinking, I guess. Dang, where's that? Not only would I know, not that I would know. He snickered and frowned contemplatively when Chloe didn't join in. Wow, must be serious. Usually I got at least a chuckle out of you when I'm being self-deprecating. It's serious, but not like serious. She shook her head. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's complicated. She liked Perry. His bald head and body shape reminded her of one of Fop's thumbs, making him instantly endearing. But she wasn't sure on a kick for opening up to one's boss about personal issues. I didn't want to push her luck. Perry gave a knowing nod and extended a hand to help her up. Sounds to me like it's time for a smoke break. I just took one, like, half an hour ago? Fixing a beat-up pack from her coveralls, Perry wordlessly started toward the back door of the shop. Chloe shrugged and pulled off her oil-covered gloves. Away. Twist my arm. There wasn't so much as a hint of blue in the sky. Chloe would happily take that over the wind and rain, considering how few degrees it was above freezing. But Seattle's streets, ice wasn't something she looked forward to. So, Perry, taking a long drag from his unfiltered silhouette. What's new in the life of Miss Price? Chloe lit up and let herself enjoy the first one full of smoke before answering. That's just too damn sweet. She's trying to get me to invite my step-ass to Thanksgiving. He snorted. I take it by the nickname that you aren't his biggest fan. Understatement of the month, Perry. But Max has a good point. I'm the closest thing to family he has left. Even if I don't like him, he and my mom still cared about each other. And I don't know. Maybe he doesn't deserve to be alone. She took a puff. I'm just afraid if he shows up, we inevitably get a fight and ruin Thanksgiving. Perry trapped his chin with one thick, false finger. That is a drama. Chloe leaned on the dumpster behind her. Come, I'm not the only one who thinks so. Want my advice? If you're offering, sure. Perry joined her next to the dumpster. I had a wife. Had? Yep. Her name was Cheryl. What happened? Leukemia took her about 6 years ago. Chloe let her breath out slowly, taking that in. Shit, Perry. That sucks. It does. I know it's not the same as what you and your, sap ass went through. Ryan told me a bit about what happened to your mom, and Akabe was all over the news for a couple of weeks. But I could tell you this from experience. Just no worse feelings than spending the holidays alone for the first time. He shrugged. Do with that information what you will. Thanks, Perry. I think that actually helps a lot. He smiled and set a heavy hand on her shoulder. Good. Now, let's get back inside. You still got a fugitive drain plug to find. I can't believe I let Max and Perry talk me into this. The vacuum moved back and forth along the carpet. Corey grilled at a particular direction at all as she tried to get a stubborn cobweb in the corner. Think about having to interact with David when he arrived in a couple of hours. Vanessa and Ryan had been enthusiastic when Max had asked if they could invite him. Yeah, and how long is that going to last once you start bickering with him? They narrowly avoided a fight on the phone. Vanessa paraded into the living room with a massive slice of pumpkin pie, mounted high with homemade whipped cream. Corey flipped the power switch on the vacuum. Your payment, as promised, Max's mom said happily. Corey took the plate, staring at it with wide-eyed grin. Thanks, Mrs. C. You really didn't have to. You guys are already taking way better care of me than I deserve. Nonsense! Everyone needs help sometimes. She sat on the back of the couch as Corey carved off her first forkful of pie. Besides, you mean so much to Max. She was an absolute wreck for a long time after we moved. Seeing you two together, it feels like our daughter is finally whole again. Thinking about that 5-year interlude, struggling to find her place in the world without Max or William, Corey quietly said, Yeah, I feel that. In the kitchen, something let out an annoying buzz. Oh! Vanessa started back the way she came, turning around long enough to tell Corey, Once you're done with the vacuuming, I should be good. Gotta go. A while later, Corey left to pick up Max for work. Unlike Corey, she hadn't been lucky enough to get the day off. Max climbed into the truck and handed Corey her coffee. She seemed exhausted. You'd think Starbucks would be less busy on a holiday, Max said, buckling her seatbelt and dropping over so her head was on Corey's shoulder. She closed her eyes. How was your day? Turns out I make a pretty good housewife with the right motivation. I don't think I vacuumed or dusted that much before in my life. Max snickered. Remind me to get you a maid costume this Halloween. Wait, why? Wait until then, Corey said slyly. Max's eyes shot back open. Corey! She snorted. What? Corey smirked. Could be fun, unless you prefer to wear it. In an appreciative whisper, Max reminded, we still live with my parents. Also, not my thing. Wait. Need of innocent. You actually has a thing? And you haven't told me? Details! Demanded Corey eagerly. Nope. Max mime zipping her mouth shut. Oh, come on! Corey gloated. You'll probably see my browser history. I'm not gonna judge. I got a giggle. Okay, fail. But I'm still not telling you yet. What am I fun? Why don't you? Corey parked the truck a little further down the street than usual, knowing that her normal spot had been commandeered by a green hatchback. My aunt and uncle are here. Max exclaimed. Great. Time to meet more of the fam. They got out and started up the steps. Max grabbed Corey's hand in 1 minute and practically dragged her to the front door, acting like an excited puppy. Max, wait! Max stopped and turned around, searching Corey's eyes worriedly for a hint at what was bothering her. You okay? What's going on? Slapping her boot absolutely against the rough surface on the concrete walkway, she asked, What if they don't like me? Seeming surprised, Max strengthened at her. Corey Elizabeth Price, You old people are worried about what someone else is going to think of you? Well, yeah. I don't have the best history when it comes to first impressions, she said nervously. Being self-conscious is my job, and they're going to love you, whether they like it or not. Chloe laughed. That sounds like a threat. It is. Max reached up and gripped the corners of Chloe's collar, pulling her so close they could feel the warmth of each other's breath, despite how quickly it evaporated into the November air. Master smelled like coffee, feeling the butterflies to her chest again. Chloe closed her arms around the small of Max's back and checked her head down. Her nerves melted away as they kissed. She didn't ever want to let go. But all good things had to come to an end, and the sound of the doorknob unlasting was the cue to disentangle themselves. The front door swung open to reveal a woman Chloe didn't recognize in a burgundy turtleneck. Her brunette curls tied at the back of her head. Max! She sang, holding her arms out. Auntie Janet! Backing away from Chloe, Max gave her aunt a hug. It's good to have you back in Seattle, honey. Seeming to have just noticed Chloe, Janet almost did a double take before asking, And who's this lovely young lady? This is Chloe, my... Chloe held her breath. Girlfriend. Relieved, Chloe exhaled. Hey there, she said, smiling awkwardly and inserting her hand. Instead of a handshake, though, she found herself pulled suddenly into a hug of her own. It's nice to meet you, Chloe. Alice is going to love your hair. Alice? Chloe asked, looking to Max for an answer as they slipped into the entryway and took off their boots and jackets. My 5-year-old cousin, Max exchanged Max. She's a lot like you at that age. Well, that's terrifying. Max giggled, only a little bit. They spilled out into the dining room. Ryan was in the kitchen with Vanessa, holding the colander for her while she slowly tipped a large pot full of potatoes. Softening water poured out, sitting a massive crowd of steam. Who Chloe assumed was Max's uncle sat at the table, drinking a local Metro brew. He looked like a thinner, older version of Ryan as he stood to greet them. Uncle Sot! This is Chloe, my girlfriend, Max introduced with a smile. Sot shook Chloe's hand. Girlfriend, huh? I guess that explains why I never heard about Max bringing guys around. Awkward phrasing, dude. Good to meet you. Cousin Max! Maxie! Came in 20 shells as a little footsteps thumped closer. The girl had curly hair like her mom, but otherwise looked startlingly similar to how Chloe remembered Max when they were that age. Max's face lit up as she kneeled down to greet her cousin. Alex! Hey! I'm so happy to see you! She heard the child, who clutched her plastic sword in one fist. Chloe recognized the play weapon. Its surface drained in sun bleaks. That was Max's, from when we used to play pirates. She was happy to see it was getting some love, but upon on the kind of protectiveness one might feel for a real logical artifact pierced her chest. Calm down, Annie. It's just an old toy. Alice forgot Chloe, swimming in awe. Chloe didn't think the girl's eyes could get any bigger, but somehow they did. You look like cotton candy. Unable to keep her mouth from curling into a big smile, Chloe joined her in Max. Yeah, I suppose it kind of does. And now saw Chloe's cat too. She reached out to touch it, but stopped to get her mom's approval first. Ask her if it's okay to tuss. And Janet said, looking amused. When the Joy's serious nod, Alice turned back to Coy. Can I? What the hell? Quit them early, I guess. Sure. Alice poked at it a few times, satisfied. I like your flowers. Sometimes I draw on myself too. Mummy doesn't like it when I do that, though. She says it's hard to scrub. I'll tell you a secret, Coy said sneakily. Alice leaned closer. Continuing at a whisper, Coy told her, mine doesn't ever scrub off. It's stuck on me forever. Apparently that blew Alice's mind. Wow, she said. That's a long time for one drawing. Do you ever get bored looking at it? Nah, assured Coy cheerfully. Besides, I could always get more if I want. It took Alice a moment to mull that over before another idea took hold. Do you like pirates? Unable to contain her excitement, Coy said, like pirates? I am a pirate! She held up a finger like a hurt and covered one eye. Yuck! Hee hee! Coy caught herself. Hey, yes! Max covered her mouth to hide a laugh. I'd love to! One question, though. What's your pirate's name? My pirate name? Every pirate needs a good name, Coy said, beaming Asa cursorily. Alice thought, tapping her upper lip with her fingers. What's yours? I'm Captain Bluebeard, and that, she said, pointing at Mass, who headed upstairs to grab their pirate sass, is Long Mass Silver. She gasped, Massey is a pirate too? Long Mass Silver, Coy reminded with a lopsided grin. Wait! Maybe I can still be Alice for now. Captain Alice! Mouse got back just in time for Coy to grab her hat and place it on top Alice's head. It was a little too big, but Alice seemed happy with it. But you're a captain too! Alice pointed out. How will we decide who's in charge? As if Mouse already knew what Coy was going to suggest, she handed her one of her little floppy fake cat's losses. I do, of course! I'm good! They moved to the living room, strolling off. Mav was happy to sit back with her camera and snap Polaroids while the two battled out. Coy set her competitive streak aside and let Alice win most of the time. She couldn't let her have all the fun. A few times, Coy caught Mass watching her with content, loving graze. As soon as she'd been noticed, though, Mass plugged and hid behind the camera. There was a knock on the door, firm and even. Coy didn't even think about it as Scott got up to answer. Then she heard David's gruff voice. Is this the Caulfield residence? Coy froze and reflexively bristled, leaving an opening for a small plastic sword to bat at her way. Gotcha! You win! Coy conceded, kneeling and presenting her catalyst to Alice. You're the captain now. Really? Really? Alice took the sword and stretched it around a few times while Coy stood. I gotta go, Captain, but I'll be back. With a pout, Alice said, Aw, promise? I promise. She looked to Mass, who nodded and took over her spot on the crew. Dave was already introducing himself. Sorry I couldn't so close, but the damn traffic for Portland is a Bearcat, he said scholarly. It's too late, reassured Vanessa. We just glad you made it. You still made it before dinner, so that's great. Thank you, madam. He spotted Coy. There was no immediate reaction in his face, but she still felt like he was staring her down. David dropped his head slightly. Coy! David? It was as if the other adults could sense the tension between the two. Neither wanted to break and say something nice first. As always, though, it was David who finally gave in. He sighed. "It's good to see you, Chloe. I told Max I'd play nice, and I was threatened to upend that plan." But Chloe stopped it in time. "Good to see you too, David," she said begrudgingly. David appeared to have recently saved. Despite the abomination still drumming his upper lip, his eyes were ringed with dark circles. Most of those usual intensity joined, and the skin on his cheeks seemed sunken in sorrow. Probably the last month and a half had really taken a toll. "So, David," Scott most swiftly interjected, "what do you do for work?" Slipping his weight between his both feet, David answered, "Well, I'm not exactly employed at the moment." It was clear he was embarrassed at the admission. "There's a group of us volunteers working with the Tigamo Country Silver to try and clean up Ikea Bay, staying at the PEMA camp. I was a security guard at Magic School before that." "Oh, that must be difficult," said Janet uneasily. "It is." David put his hands behind his back, sitting at ease. "But we're making progress." Saul and Janet continued to tiptoe around the subject as Vanessa and Ryan finished preparing dinner. "Did you see the Seahawks go up against the Vikings a couple of weeks ago?" asked Scott. "Yeah, totally creamed them." David chuckled. "Not even a fair fight." Chloe pretty quickly tuned out that conversation. Ron started carving the turkey, giving Vanessa a much overdue break. She sat next to Janet. "How's Alice been doing with preschool?" "Oh, you know how it is. She keeps finding her way into mud puddles." "I swear, that girl loves dirt." Vanessa laughed. "Yeah, I do. Master Chloe was the same at that age. Just be glad there isn't sand around here. It's like glitter. You can't ever get rid of this stuff." "Can't imagine." Soon dinner was ready to be placed on the table. Chloe Mass tried to lend a hand, placing dishes to Scott in a sort of relay. They took their seats, Chloe squeezing in between Max and David. She recognized a red ceramic baking dish sitting between the cranberry sauce and carrots. "Is that some Mom's?" she asked David accusingly, putting at the dish. Max nudged her with an elbow, reminding her to chill out. Looking like he just found himself in a minefield and was awaiting the explosion, David carefully asked, "Yes, it ended up in one of my boxes. I didn't have anything else to bake in, but if you want me to leave it with you, I will." How dramatic, she thought houselessly, but it was an olive branch of sorts, and it wasn't like Chloe knew how to bake. "No, it's yours," she accepted. "What's in it?" "Cornbread stuffing. Or the Matson family recipe." "That sounds wonderful," Vanessa said, picking up the dish and scooping out a medium-sized helping. "Where's your family from, David?" "I was born in Eastern Tennessee, but my folks moved us to Petaltown, Oregon when I was little. How about the coalfields?" They all made small talk for most of the meal. Chloe made a potato out of her mashed potatoes, showing all 4 hours who soon did the same. As everyone grew full, though, the conversation changed. Chloe wasn't a fan, and she could feel Max and David getting more tense on either side of her. So I brought up Blackwell Academy, especially how much money Ryan and Vanessa must have spent for Max to go there. only for that month of school to essentially be lost. Ryan's bow followed as he concentrated. Max had the scholars that paid most of the tuition, but we still had the can over a semester worth of room and board. That wasn't cheap. The school hasn't reimbursed you for any of that? Thought asked in disbelief. Ryan shook off. Not a dime. Sounds like your insurance didn't cover in natural disasters. And now, Max is probably going to have to redo a senior year. I'm starting to think it was a mistake to send her back to Arcadia Bay. What a waste! Scott agreed. Corey noticed Max snuck in on herself, arms crossed defensively, staring with absent, unfocused eyes at the last gravy-covered bits of food on her plate. She flinched on to the receive of Corey's funnel. It wasn't a waste, she murmured. What was that, Max? Vanessa asked, concern etching her features, deepening the crow's feet around her eyes. The whole table, except for Alice, who was happily making a second mashed potato volcano, stared at Max. That only seemed to make her discomfort worse. Corey left her girlfriend protectively in her arms. It probably hadn't been Ryan or Scott's intent to upset Max, but Corey sailed to bite back a valkyric comment that threatened to bubble to the surface. She said it wasn't a waste, David said, breaking the uncomfortable silence. There was a strained breath saying beneath his otherwise calm words that give away the pain laying just beneath the surface. I agree. If Max wouldn't have been at Arcadia Bay, my stepdaughter and I wouldn't have survived the storm. There were clearly other things he wanted to say, but it was already pushing his ability to contain his emotions. Instead, he finished with, It's hard to be thankful for much this year, but I'm thankful for that at least. Ryan and Scott were the same. Sorry, David. We didn't mean it like that. Max's dad apologized. I know, David said with a nod, his voice still uncomfortably persuaded. It's all right. Let's change the subject. Everyone seemed satisfied with that plan. Within a few minutes, they were back to laughing and joking, complaining about bills and overstuffing their stomachs. Max and Corey mostly just listened, and clearly Corey noticed David gazing over at the two of them. His eyes were sad and worried each time. Once dinner was over and dessert had been brought to the kitchen, Corey rubbed Max's shoulder and whispered, I'm going to step out and get my nicotine fix. Max nodded nervously. Okay. I try to keep Alice distracted. Chuckling, Corey kissed the top of Max's head. Be right back. She quickly threw on her boots and jacked before sinking out the door. Once outside, she found her pack. The silhouette she pulled from it was bent and slightly flattened from the pack getting stressed at some point. Oh well. She had to fight her lighter to get it to stay lit in the breeze, but Amy got it to lit. The relief was immediate. Behind her, the front door stood open. Corey turned, surprised to see David. He closed the door slightly behind him. Mind if I join you? Corey shrugged, honestly indifferent. Be my guest. Great. He's gonna bust my balls about smoking again. Again, to her surprise, David received his own smokes from his jacket pocket. After struggling to move the lacquer from the fresh pack, he flipped the first silhouette over and carefully returned it to its place before grabbing another. David searched his pocket for a lighter, but came up empty-handed. Corey passed him hers. Thanks. He lit up and handed it back. I didn't know you smoke. Haven't in a long time. What's the deal with the... You know. She mimicked his motion of flipping the silhouette. He pulled long and deep, immediately coughing. Once his diaphragm was back under control, he answered, "Old military tradition. You leave that one for last. If you live long enough to smoke it, it means you're lucky." Corey nodded. So I have to admit, it was cool, kind of a cool ritual. Does it really work? David made a sound halfway between a laugh and a cough. "My lungs say no." They both stared at the dark street, illuminated by a single street light. So he might have done anything like this with David before. It must fit so well. Something had changed about him. Softened, maybe. Corey supposed he could understand why. "How do you do it?" Corey demanded suddenly, almost angrily. David froze. "Do what?" "How do you keep going back to a cave bay every day? Digging through what's left of people's life? Finding bodies and Mom. They told me you were the one who identified her body." A couple of tears streaked down her cheeks, chewing quickly and pecking like ice. "I can't let go." David's head shrunk. He sounded desperate. "I can't move on. You lost a lot too, but you also have Mass and a home and the rest of your life ahead of you. I have a stepdaughter that hates me and a pile of regrets. Look," David said, like he was about to give her one of his speeches. Corey fought back a reflective groan, only because this was one of the only 2 times he really opened up to her. "I know I'm not exactly your favorite person in the world. I was a piss-poor stepdaughter, and I know that doesn't just go away." "It doesn't," Corey agreed, but her voice faltered. David didn't try to argue. "I guess that what I'm trying to say is, thank you for inviting me. It means a lot, especially without Joyce here to force us to get along." At the end, his voice had threatened to break. "Fuck. Don't you dare start crying on me, David. I'm already turning into a mess," Corey thought. "I'm glad you were able to make it, and your cold bread stuffing was actually pretty good. Thanks." Corey caught him, tried to discreetly wipe at the corner of his eyes. The front door opened again, bringing Mass and Alice and Tricorn's hats. "Captain Bluebeard ahoy!" the little girl called, pointing with the toy cutlass. Mass was giggling. "Apparently you have to scrub the boot deck for bailing on us." Seeing the streaks on Corey's face and her red nose, Mass asked, "Hey, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'll just be a minute," Corey dismissed, trying not to sniffle. Still looking at Corey with concern, Mass herded Alice back into the house. "Let me know if you need anything. Come on, Captain Alice. We will be back in a bit." The door laughed behind her. David chuckled. "Better not Jarl out here with me too long. She might make you walk the plank. Kids can be ruthless." They laughed, but it was more than just a joke. Corey wasn't sure if David caught the subtle apology. Once their silhouette had burned to the filters, they threw away the butts and headed inside for more swashbuckling in the desert. The end of the night came early. Scott and Janet having to get their daughter home in time for bed. They said their goodbyes before piling back into their hatchback, placing a couple of pies in the back seat were very sleepy hours. The girl was just awake enough to give Corey a tiny embrace. It was the cutest thing Corey might have ever seen. "I better hit the road too," David quailed, sticking Ryan in Vanessa's hands. "That's over a 4-hour drive," Ryan reminded. "It'll be at least 1 in the morning when you get back. You're more than welcome to spend the night here if you want," offered Vanessa. David sipped on a coffee. "I appreciate the offer, but I'll be alright. Besides, I'm eating another cleanup crew tomorrow morning. We do not get stuck in the morning traffic. Well, just know you're welcome here anytime. Vanessa handed him a bag full of leftovers and a pie. For the world. Thank you very much, madam, sir. Vanessa smiled sweetly. Vanessa and Ryan is fine. Turning to Max and Corey, David said, take care of each other. Oh, wait. Corey, if you need anything. Same. They looked at each other for a moment, and while there was still plenty that would need some work and time, for once there was a real peace between them. Oh, fuck it! Corey caved and gave Corey the basiest hugs he could muster. He hugged her back. It lasted then a second, less than a second, but Corey admitted he didn't hate it. Drive safe, said Ryan, waving as David descended the steps toward his car. Will do. Have a good night, and happy Thanksgiving. You're still awake? Max clung like a backpack to Corey beneath the sheets and heavy comforter. She almost always fell asleep first. She gobbled into the back of Corey's head. Corey simply sorry. Sleepyhead. Toad. Max squeezed her even harder with her arms, pushing her feet against the bottom of Corey's back. Snuggling, Corey screamed a little too loudly. Oh my god! Why are your feet so cold? Max started to giggle. That's what you get for waking me up. Good thing I did. We didn't get your circulation up, so it's making it all the way to your toes. Oh? Max asked, her voice getting low and playful. She kissed Corey's neck, just below her ear. It was a side of her that Corey never would have guessed existed before they started dating. And even then took a while to coast out. What did you have in mind? Well, you see, I was thinking about that maid costume again, and a second side of St. Max's lip, warming the back of Corey's neck. She groaned, a slight quiver giving away how hard she was trying not to laugh. Corey, stop! Fine, ruin my fun. Max's grip loosened enough that Corey was able to turn around, facing her girlfriend. She kissed the tip of Max's nose. Thanks for talking me into inviting David. I'm just glad you two didn't kill each other. It mostly sounded like a joke, mostly. Believe it or not, he really does care about you a lot. I know, Max. Corey's fingers traced Max's cheekbone, tranquilly sweeping through a waveward aches of hair behind her ear. Max placed her hand over Corey's and gave her a slight smile. I love you. Far from the first time they'd been said, the words still made Corey melt. I love you too. The kiss was brief, but no less passionate for it. You're also a little spoon pusher is for the night, Matt suddenly declared, warming over and shooting back until she was snuggled into Corey's chest. Corey thrust intensely. What? That's what you get for waking me up, she reminded. Corey didn't need to see Max's face to know what she was smoking and turned thoughtfully. Now to go to sleep. We have to be up in 4 hours to meet Chris and Fernando for Black Friday shopping. Ugh. Do we have to? Corey pleaded. An ice cold foot brushed the front of her thigh, making her recall. Okay, fine. Just keep those things to yourself. It wasn't long before the women pulling and massive snoring lulled Corey to sleep. Well, that's the story. So I hope everyone has a Thanksgiving. Next holiday for this series will be Christmas. Which I will see you then. Bye. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, you know, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!